Do you want to improve your Harvey's Island pictures? Are you tired of your cookie cutter family photo hour where everyone makes the same pose? Well, who better to tell you how to take better pictures than the guy that was pressured to leave his university's art program? Let's get started. First step is to think of a scene of life. If you're just doing a photo shoot to show off villagers, that's one thing, but to make things dynamic, you basically want to think of a photo as a slice of life or a movie shot. If your room looks like a real place that looks like we're a spot where people could live in, move around in, or perform some kind of action and not just a blank pocket dimension, you've done it right. It could be a forest, an office, a secret cult's meeting room, it doesn't matter. As long as the place looks like a room that could be a real place. Look at all the furniture you have available to you. See what furniture is customizable, using your patterns if you have to, just keep working on it. You'll figure out how to get the room perfect for the scene you want. After the room is built, it's time to talk characters. You may have thought of which characters you want before or after scene creation, but the important thing to think about is how many characters are actually needed to make the scene feel genuine. You can either summon villagers from the ones living in your town, or summon villagers using Amiibo, which gives you the benefit of getting special NPCs in the scene too. You can either get Amiibo by playing the purchase limit game set in place by retailers, giving scalpers what they want, by being a dirty pirating scallywag, or by giving dirty pirating scallywags what they want. Note that you don't need to fill a scene to the brim to make it feel complete, as it would potentially make the image overcrowded. Think about what story you are trying to tell, and if there is a reason to stick Pietro the Clown in the background, or if the image is better without that distraction. Also note that the special NPCs won't let you put different clothes on them, so it would be worth your time to figure out who has similar body types to certain NPCs if you want to dress up Isabelle as the Doomslayer and Photoshop your pics. After you have the villagers summoned, put them in place and reposition them. They can face one of the 8 directions from the scene setup, but you can talk to them in regular gameplay to fine-tune their direction if you want. When placing villagers, think about what location is best for what you're trying to do. Don't just put them on a perfect grid, go half-grid spaces. Strategically put them so they are partially blocked by furniture, or perhaps blocking certain parts of furniture. Whatever makes the scene look better to you. Now you can pick the villagers' clothes. Some options like socks, shoes, and pants aren't available, so you have to look at the outfits you have cataloged to figure out how to get them dressed just right. Also, customized clothing won't show up, so you'd better hope and pray that Fuchsia is wearing the I'm with stupid shirt you put up at the Able Sisters. Now it's time to make like my parents and start toying with some emotions. You can assign reactions you've learned to any character in the scene, yourself, villager, or special NPC. Think about what is going on, not just with the main characters of the pic, but with any side characters you might throw in. Sure, there might be a starving child shivering in the cold in the foreground to convey sadness, but there could also be a laughing baby boomer with money in the background, invoking rage in the viewer at the lack of justice or the hope that the kid will be adopted. In real life, you have your own story going on, but other people around you have their own stories, so if you have a lot of characters, figure out their motivations for any side stories. Remember, if the villager doesn't have a reason to be at this location, then why are they there? One good thing to remember is that when you press the button to activate reactions, they all go off at the same time with no staggering. This means that you'll want to consider what each reaction should be and if you'll have time to get the exact image you want. Finally, we get to taking the actual picture. This may sound simple, but it's really not as easy as it seems, and here's why. Think of the camera like a tetherball. It can move around a single vertical pole, and that pole is your villager. This means that to get the perfect picture, you'll want to ensure that you start with your villager in just the right spot, otherwise your camera controls just won't play nice. Once you've played with the camera angles and got that figured out, you can mess with filters and borders and stuff, you Instagram floozy. From here, it's just taking the picture, and remember, you don't have to get it right the first try. Take as many pics as you want. The only limit is how much storage space is on your Switch. Once you have the image, you can either use a capture card to save the image to a computer if you're rich, or just share it on Facebook or Twitter. No, you don't have to keep them on social media. If you're scared, people will judge you for enjoying life the way you see fit. You just have to have your device of choice on hand, ready to download that image, then delete. Now you can share it with a group of people who won't judge you for playing gateway drug to being a furry, the game. And that's how to be better at Photopia. Now screw off.